On July 20th, a boxing bout between Tyson and Jake Paul will take place at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Even though Paul has said that he wants to focus on beating professional boxers so that he can one day challenge for the world title, the fact that he will instead fight Tyson shocked everyone. Thus, why is this taking place? Let's find out. What are the reasons for this fight? Although he is rather elderly for a boxer, Tyson has not lost any of his star power throughout the course of his career. In spite of the fact that Tyson's last professional bout took place in 2005, he continues to be one of the most significant names in the world, and not only in the realm of sports. In addition, there's no question that Paul is really one of the most prominent figures in the world of social media. When you combine all of these events, you have a gigantic event that is certain to create international appeal, regardless of whether or not boxing purists are involved. Due to the fact that this fight is not a pay-per-view event, there is a possibility that it will be the most viewed fight of this century. For example, the fight between Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao in 2015 broke the record for pay-per-view buys with 4.6 million units. Also, the days of Muhammad Ali fighting on ABC in front of hundreds of millions of people are little more than a distant memory. Furthermore, it was said that the Rumble in the Jungle was the bout that received the most viewers all around the world, but that was in 1974. Even Mike Tyson, who's the most popular fighter in the world since Muhammad Ali, every single one of his most important fights was shown on pay-per-view. Just so there's no doubt about it, even in his old age, Tyson still manages to look the part. Thus, probably this upcoming fight will be the most viewed. The performance that took place between Tyson and Jones Jr. in November 2020 was one in which it was abundantly evident that neither of the all-time greats was throwing punches with any ill will towards the other. And there was absolutely nothing wrong with it, provided that the promoter was not attempting to mislead spectators into believing that it's a genuine bout. Therefore, Tyson will be 58 years old by the time the bout takes place, although it's unknown whether this will be a boxing battle sanctioned by the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation or an exhibition fighting event. In addition, if there is one thing that Tyson Jones has brought into existence, it's a pattern of events such as this one in which there is complete ambiguity in the lead-up surrounding exhibition versus sanctioned combat fighting. In several instances, the display really turned out to be a fight in which both men attempted to do harm to one another. Take, for example, the fight between Vitor Belfort and Evander Holyfield in September 2021, which was a demonstration in which Belfort knocked out Holyfield in the first round. There was also the exhibition fight between Logan Paul and Floyd Mayweather that took place in the summer of 2021. During this fight, it was glaringly evident that neither of the fighters was throwing punches with the intention of inflicting injury on the other. To put it another way, Paul and Mayweather were separated by 35 pounds. That was not even close to being a fight between two boxers. Furthermore, during the battle between Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou in October, it was thought for many weeks that the match was an exhibition. However, it turned out to be a very genuine fight that relied on both fighters' records. Given the age of Tyson, it would be remarkable if this fight did not take the form of another demonstration similar to the one between Jake's elder brother and Floyd Mayweather. However, everything is still up in the air. Is it really necessary for this fight to take place? There is no question that this will be one of the most watched boxing contests in the history of the sport, and everyone who's participating will undoubtedly earn a significant amount of money. To be honest, nobody is very interested in seeing Mike Tyson, who is almost 60 years old, being banged up by Jake Paul. It is clear that Paul and Netflix, along with everyone else, would not look good in that situation. Also, there are many who are certain to think that Tyson will win the fight against the YouTuber. Paul, on the other hand, is physically powerful, athletic, and 30 years younger than Tyson. In every conceivable physical aspect, he will dominate the competition. But, considering that both of them are adults who have given their permission if they decide to fight, and the TDLR gives Tyson a clean bill of health, then there is virtually no one who can stop them from doing so. These are the sorts of glasses that are used in combat sports these days, and this particular one is the most divisive one that has been given up to this point. One of the more favorable outcomes would be for the bout to be categorized as an exhibition, and the two fighters would engage in a friendly but intense sparring session, similar to the one between Tyson and Jones Jr. Although, as experts pointed out, those two individuals were not tossing with malicious intent in November of 2020. The audience nonetheless left the event feeling happy with what they had seen. To tell you the truth, this is not about actual sports competition. Rather, it's all about entertainment. And if we take it at face value, it is acceptable. Does this fight threaten boxing's core values? Considering that Paul has been successful after his defeat at the hands of Tommy Fury, it is essential to point out that he has improved and has shown some signs of development. However, when we consider the fact that the great Mike Tyson, who's 57 years old and is considered to be one of the most iconic people in the history of boxing, is going to be competing against Paul, we can't help but think about the boxing sport, which was once referred to be a sport and its lifeblood. As a result of the commercial aspect of boxing taking over, many boxing purists have seen a transformation in the sport. With the passage of time, we are seeing an increase in the number of crossover events, high-profile exhibition battles, and celebrity boxing contests. The ancient virtues of boxing, such as the amateur system, refined excellent boxing abilities, discipline, and general professionalism, are no longer at the forefront of modern-day boxing. Instead, entertainment and financial rewards have taken precedence over these traditional values. There is a case to be made that these modifications have resulted in more money for boxers and have brought greater attention to the sport. However, we would want to make a statement and propose a question to everyone involved. Where is the integrity that the boxing sport once possessed? Many boxing experts think that a fight between Mike Tyson and Jake Paul would be a horrible farce and would be a harm to the credibility of the professional boxing industry. Paul claimed he wanted to fight real boxers, so what happened? Following Paul's only setback in the professional ranks, which came in the form of a split decision loss to Tommy Fury in the previous year, he shifted his focus to his specialty, mixed martial arts opponents. Also, following Paul's decisive victory over Nate Diaz in August, he made the announcement that he would start developing his abilities the old-fashioned manner by engaging in fights against real boxers. However, Jake's crossover events were losing momentum, despite the fact that those real boxers were definitely a significant distance behind the quality of Paul's mixed martial arts opponents like Diaz, Ben Askren, and notably Anderson Silva. Additionally, from a narrative point of view, it made no sense at all. If he wants to be in the running for the championship, he needs to knock out a few boxers who have built up their records. For example, a journeyman named August was knocked out in the first round by Paul in December, and Paul followed it up with a knockout victory in the first round against another opponent of the same kind in Borland. However, such fights did not seem to get a great deal of attention. As a result, Paul has most likely adopted the wise course of action by returning to what he does best, which is to appear in a circus fight against another prominent figure. To what extent Paul will ever return to his declared objective of becoming the cruiserweight champion is something that needs to be seen. This event with Tyson, which is expected to generate a lot of money, should not significantly alter that direction. The only thing that will be accomplished is to raise Paul's reputation, and once again, it ought to be an exhibition in which Paul does not lose any of his boxing credibility. Share your thoughts on who you believe will emerge victorious in the forthcoming fight by leaving a comment below. And that wraps things up. We appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Please hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you in the next one.